are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMET, its management, employees, or affiliates.
It's time to steer the line.
Touchdown!
Sports betting, fantasy football, and the latest NFL news. Featuring LouDesmon, Christian Giordani, Rocky Giordani, and Jeremy James. Bet on us to make you a better better.
What?
Let's get ready to steer the line.
Good afternoon, fellas. Once again, the NFL season is over. Over. Week 18 has gone. The postseason has started, and we know all 14 teams coming into the NFL playoffs. Jeremy, how excited are you for NFL Wildcard Weekend?
Hey, it's one of those things where, last week I was sad that the regular season's over, and, here it is Friday night before kickoff of games this weekend, and I'm excited again because, playoff football is always a good time. With or without my team being there, we're going to get some good games, and it should be a good weekend.
Yeah, not to rub salt in the wound for the both of you, but the Rams are in the playoffs this year. 6 seed going against the Detroit Lions. Something I just want to say going ahead.
For one game.
It is the quickest sold-out wild card game of all time, and is anticipated to be the most viewed wild card game of all time. The prodigal son, Matthew Stafford, returns to the land of Detroit to stop the Detroit Lions from advancing.
He wants to be the bad guy. He wants to be the bad guy.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider that. I didn't even consider the revenge game.
No, but you've got it wrong. It's not.
It's
not Matthew Stafford. Whoa, hang on. You've got it backwards. It's not a Matthew Stafford revenge game. It's a Jared Goff revenge game.
For both of them.
Well,
no.
Stafford wanted
out. Stafford got what he wanted.
Right.
Goff, after taking the team to the Super Bowl, got dumped.
Went to Detroit.
He didn't just get dumped. He went to Detroit.
Yeah,
they both want to prove something, though. You know that Matthew Stafford wants to go into Detroit and give him a beating in the playoffs.
Yeah.
How dare you trade me anyway? He got what he wanted, and it's true. Goff was the one that got the short end of that stick for sure. But and you talk about squeaking into the playoffs. Almost every team in here squeaked in the last week. I mean, this is crazy, man. It came down to the last game of the season, sometimes the last quarter, before we knew who was going to be in and who was going to be out. And
the most unfortunate thing is that the wrong team is in for the NFC South. Because if you saw the two games that were played, the Saints played a fantastic game. They beat the Falcons so bad, the Falcons fired their coach.
Yeah.
And the Buccaneers looked awful. So, I mean, if you watch those two games, I'm sure you were going, oh my gosh, New Orleans is the team that belongs in the playoffs, not the Buccaneers.
Yeah. Jack, that's another thing. A few of these teams snuck in and probably don't belong there. We're going to find out. We will have definitive answers by the end of Sunday, or maybe there'll just be more questions. If one of these wild card teams pulls off a big win, we're going to be stumped again. I mean, it should be.
I've got picks on all the games. I've got betting strategy for the whole weekend. But I did want to point out one thing. I think Jeremy mentioned it. You can play fantasy football this time of year, right, Jeremy?
Yeah. I mean, we did a playoff draft last night. It just, makes it a little more fun if you're going into the playoffs without a team to root for. I'm pulling for the impossible Cleveland-Detroit Super Bowl, but I don't have any skin in the game with my Raiders not being in it, so I needed some fantasy football again this year.
So this is interesting. I didn't know much about this going into the draft, but as I understand it, Jeremy, all your players are live every game, right?
Yeah, in our format, every player is live, and as team gets eliminated, you lose players, and it comes down to the final score of your entire team against all the other teams at the end of the playoff run.
So it's really interesting strategically because there are teams that are obviously not playing this weekend. And so if you took players from the 49ers and the Ravens, I've got like 6 players that are on the Ravens and the 49ers on my roster. So I'm missing 6 positions going into this weekend.
Yeah, but you expect
Hoping that
those.
I'll make up for it later.
Yeah, you will, because you expect those teams to go far. You expect to get at least probably 3 games out of those teams, so that's what you're looking for, is getting as many games out of the top players as you can.
What's funny is, speaking of that Detroit Rams game, you have 2 quarterbacks in this league. I have Stafford and Goff.
Yeah.
So I'm going to lose one of them, no matter what.
Yeah, that's going to be the most watched game of the weekend for sure. I understand it's sold out like that, man.
Immediately, it's sold out the same night.
Well, everyone's invested.
You might get more viewers. Packers Cowboys.
Well, we'll find out on Monday, but I don't think so. This is the only one that really these teams are. This might be a close game. They're pretty evenly matched. You look at the Cowboys and the Packers. Packers snuck in. They're a wild card team. Cowboys were a powerhouse at the end of the season. Dak Prescott's got a lot to prove. This is a legacy game for him. I don't know that that's gonna. I wouldn't miss dinner to watch that game. I don't expect the Packers to pull it off.
Is anybody surprised at any of the coaches that have left or been let go?
Nope.
Oh, no, not at all. Pete Carroll's time ran out in Seattle.
I was shocked by one, and that was
Vrabel.
Mike Vrabel at the Titans. I don't know.
Yeah, you know what?
At all.
It all comes down to the comments he said when New England was honoring him beginning of this year, sometime this year.
Vrabel?
Yeah.
His number, something about probably, he was honored.
They retire his number or put him in the Ring of Honor or whatever.
Yeah, they put him in the Ring of Honor, something like that.
Probably.
And he said not many organizations are run like this in New England. That's it.
Look, he got some.
Of course, he had a huge problem with the GM when the GM let AJ Brown go to the Eagles.
One of the worst trades in NFL history. Speaking of AJ Brown,
his reaction in the draft room went viral. Those 2 guys didn't get along, but I think it's a lot harder to find a coach than it is to find a general manager. So I think that was a huge mistake. Belichick, of course, gone. Harbaugh's leaving Michigan. The Washington Huskies just got gutted today because their coach is going to Alabama.
Yeah, how about that?
Which, by the way, excuse me.
Mute yourself.
Kalen DeBoer, who's going to Alabama, he completely changed something about college football. He has kept the same assistants from South Dakota to Fresno to the Washington Huskies by doing something differently than everybody else. His offensive coordinator makes $2 million a year. He makes $4 million. That is the highest paid by percentage offensive coordinator in the country. And his other coordinators also make really good money. And he takes a pay cut so that he can keep those coordinators and not have them immediately leave for head coaching jobs. And so Alabama can afford it. I think that's going to become a model in the future because losing the coordinators every year is really hard on programs. All right. Mike Vrabel, where does he go, Jeremy? Because I think he's right back in the NFL.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think so too. I think a lot of teams are going to be interested in talking to him. I don't know if every coach that got let go is going to be turning right around and going back to the NFL, but I think Vrabel will. And there's, I don't know, Atlanta could be interesting for Vrabel.
Atlanta's been linked to Belichick.
Yeah, I know. I've heard that as well. I really don't know. I think a couple of teams are going to wait for some bigger names and see what's going on as far as some of the younger coordinators and maybe some of the outside names. I think Vrabel will be very popular, but I don't know where he's going to go because there's only 7 openings right now because Gerard Mayo has already been named the head coach of
So we know Mayo at the Patriots. I'm saying Belichick goes to the Falcons. So let's take that one off the table.
San Diego.
So now you've got I think the next most attractive job is San Diego. I'm sorry.
LA, yeah.
LA
Chargers.
Yeah.
Wouldn't he rather go there to have a quarterback? Because he is not going to have one in Atlanta, and he's not going to have an earlier round
in Atlanta,
pick.
no.
Belichick doesn't want to go to the West Coast.
Oh, I don't know.
And
thought maybe he'd like some warm weather at his age.
My money's Belichick in LA.
Ownership at Belichick and the ownership of the Falcons have been linked in the past. Where does Harbaugh end up?
Harbaugh goes to the Chargers.
Harbaugh to the Chargers?
Does he make the jump?
Belichick, it's Harbaugh, yeah.
Harbaugh has to leave Michigan, Jeremy. He's about to be screwed by the NCAA in a big way.
I've heard stuff about that, but I didn't know if he was actually going to go ahead and.
It's Pete Carroll all over again. Carroll won a national championship by cheating at USC. Harbaugh won a national championship by cheating at Michigan. Then they have to leave because the investigation is going to blow up the program. So Harbaugh goes to San Diego.
Vrabel, Seattle.
That would be a great fit, and I'd love to.
I like that.
I think going from one players coach to another different style of players coach. I think he would step right in there and be able to keep that team rolling.
Do the Raiders keep Antonio Pierce?
Yes, they should.
Hoping so. I really do hope so, personally. I think what's going to happen is Mark Davis is going to talk to Harbaugh. If Harbaugh doesn't make a deal, he's going to stick with Antonio. I think that's what he wants to do.
Bill Belichick will not be going. It's to the Raiders.
Well, I know that, Mark Davis says, according to reports, the Raiders are interested, but I really hope he doesn't even give him the time of day.
Me neither.
Sure.
All right. Shall we pick some games?
Let's do it.
Yep, let's get right into it.
All right, first game of the weekend, Browns, minus 131 at the money line at the Texans. It's Browns, a road favorite at -2. Rocky.
Yeah, I really like the Browns. Actually, this is my pick of the week. I'll just get it out of the way. My pick of the week, Cleveland goes into Houston. They spank them. I disagrry with Sean, our producer. He thinks that it's going to be an offensive, slugfest. I think it's going to be a defensive smash mouth football game. I think Cleveland's defense is going to just spank them. And I love Joe Flacco. He's playing so loose, and he's gonna have a fun day. Yeah, that's my pick of the week. Cleveland, big time.
Jeremy.
I'm going.
Agree. Oh, go ahead, Jeremy.
Oh, sorry. I'm on Cleveland as well. To be honest with you, if Houston pulls out a sneaky victory, I won't be upset, because if Cleveland doesn't go to the Super Bowl, my next pick is Houston, because I want to see a rookie in the Super Bowl. I want some kind of history, so I'm happy either way. But I'm on Cleveland with Joe Flacco, veteran quarterback, playing way better than anyone expected, and that defense is just a monster.
Yeah, I'm on Cleveland as well. I agree with Sean, though. This is going to be a much closer game than we think. The spread says it all. It's going to be a smash mouth football, but it's going to be between Joe Flacco and C.J. Stroud, who's a better quarterback, and I think it's Joe Flacco.
I'm taking the Browns on the money line. I don't want anything to do with points because it's only minus 131. So if I can avoid any point problems, that's my bet. Browns on the money line. The X factor is, does Flacco turn the ball over too much? If he had played a full season, he would be at 25 interceptions right now for his interceptions per game. So,
but Flacco was one of those guys who played better in the playoffs.
Yep.
His interception to touchdown ratio is much better come playoff time.
And also, I think there's a lot of just Flacco going, screw it. It's not like it matters.
Yeah.
Just let
and
it rip.
Amari Cooper, let's not forget Amari Cooper has had a resurgence since Joe Flacco came. 3 straight 200-yard games.
Dolphins, Chiefs.
The least watched game of the
game,
weekend.
By the way,
The least.
Well, it's on Peacock.
The high temperature in Kansas City on Saturday is 16.
Yeah.
Winds in the 20 to 30 miles an hour. Snow likely
Wind chill factor of 30. Negative 30.
Yep. Might be 30 below.
Yeah.
Is how it's going to feel. Game kicks off 2 hours after sundown.
Oh, I wouldn't go. That's not even fun anymore. Yeah. I don't care who the team is. It's Kansas City. They're used to it. I'm staying home for that game. You know what?
Yeah.
If I'm a Kansas City fan with tickets, I know I've seen enough playoff games where I'm not going out negative 30 to watch that.
If I was 18 to 25 years old, I'd be there with my shirt off.
Yeah, me too, but not today. And by the way,
not my age now.
This is what Miami's going to get paid back. Remember when they invited Buffalo down there in September, and Buffalo was dying in the humidity? This is going to be a bunch of kids from Miami going into weather they've never seen. I mean, unless they.
By the way, a stat that I love in this game: Tua Tagovailoa has played 4 games at 45 degrees or lower. He's lost all 4.
Sure, he's played at Alabama, then at Miami.
Yeah.
So he's a Hawaiian Samoan who played at Alabama.
Yeah, I don't have a lot of hopes for Tua and the Fish this weekend in Kansas City.
The line is Dolphins. The line is Dolphins minus 4.5. I'll go first this time. Dolphins. I'm sorry, Chiefs minus 4.5. Chiefs.
Yeah, they should cover that easily. I'll take the Chiefs.
I think they win by 7.
I completely agree.
And by the way, the injury report for the Dolphins, it's like half the team is on the injury report. So
I got to say, after the weekend was over, at first I was on the Dolphins. I'm like, they can beat the Chiefs right now. Then I saw that the Dolphins were signing, pass rushers off the street. Then I saw negative 30 degrees, and I had to change my pick. Kansas City is just in their element, in this one. Literally.
Both teams healthy in a neutral site. I like the Fish. In Kansas City Sunday, forget it, man.
One quick note that I got to say for all fans who want to watch it, but for Dolphins fans and Chiefs fans specifically, the fact that this game is exclusively on the Peacock app, and now people have to go and get that app to watch an NFL playoff game is wrong. That's bad business by the NFL.
I hope nobody watches it. I hope nobody logs in. Nobody subscribes to
that.
Peacock.
Is bad business.
Bad business.
I don't like the way they do business.
Baby.
I don't like the way they do business.
There you go.
Bad business, baby.
On Sunday morning, the first game, Steelers Bills.
We like Kansas City Fish. Christian.
Kansas City. We all said Kansas City.
Steelers Bills. Sunday morning. This game could be even colder than the Kansas City game. Lake effect snow. 25 to 30 mile per hour winds, a high of 19 degrees, snow in the forecast. The line is Bills minus 9.5. Currently, it opened at Bills minus 10. The over-under is 34. Rocky.
Yeah, well, the Bills, when they were at 6-6, everybody writing them off, and their coach was almost out the door already. They went on they've
won their last 5 games.
Yeah, both these teams have been playing with desperation the end of the season, and I can't believe Pittsburgh snuck in there. They got in there, but I don't have a lot of hope for them against this Buffalo defense, which finally showed up. I know Josh Allen threw some picks. Okay, talk about the picks. But he was playing lights out if you take away the interceptions. But because his defense wasn't showing up, he had to try to carry the game on his shoulders. Now his defense is showing up. I don't expect him to be such a gunslinger. Like Buffalo. Whoa, Christian, calm down, buddy. Yeah, I like Buffalo, and I think this game could be decided by the kickers.
By the way, are you on who are you on, plus or minus 9.5?
Yeah, I'm taking Buffalo minus the points.
Minus 9.5. Jeremy.
Is it that high now?
Yeah, I like Buffalo, and I have no problem with that spread. I think Pittsburgh's going to struggle in this game, and I got to say, with those conditions, I'm really glad I got the Buffalo running back on my fantasy team because he's the only one that's going to score anything.
Yeah.
Right. I am going under 34 in this game because if you remember. The last time we saw a game with 25 mile an hour plus winds, it was the Patriots against the Bills 2 years ago. And you remember every time they tried to kick a field goal, it would like a whee. They couldn't connect any passes. That game ended what, 6-3?
Something like that. Yeah.
Cold, snow, wet doesn't really hurt. When the wind is blowing, scoring goes above 20 miles an hour. Scoring goes way down in the NFL. This thing ends like 17-10.
Yeah, should be a barn burner.
There's a lot of pressure on Buffalo. I mean, there has been for the last half of the season, and more pressure on them now with a wild card team coming into Buffalo. This is a desperation game. I think they show up. I think the defense shows up, and I like Josh Allen.
Packers at Cowboys. That game started -7.5 in favor of the Cowboys. It has dropped to -6.5.
-7 still in the open market right now.
I've got it 6.5 at Bet Online earlier today. So, Packers Cowboys -6.5, -7. Christian, go for it.
I'm gonna hate to say it, I love the Packers going in this game. Jordan Love has all the momentum in the world. Dak Prescott has the entire pressure for his future riding on this game. If he loses, he is out of Dallas. Jordan Love continues to win. He builds his legacy in Green Bay. I like Jordan Love and the Packers winning.
Yeah, I'm pissing on that. The Cowboys have been great at home. They have scored over 30 points at home in every game. If they get ahead, Green Bay is screwed, and that's exactly what's going to happen. Dallas is going to score quick early in the game, and then they're going to go up by 10. They're going to go up by 17-3, something like that, and then it's over for Green Bay. Rocky.
Yeah, there's no reason why this game should even be close. Legacy game for Dak Prescott for sure. I agree with Christian. He has to win. They're 5,000-0 at home this year, man. And I don't think that the Green
They're
Bay
undefeated in Dallas.
Yeah, he's gonna have a good day with CD Lamb. Besides, he's got another receiver and a really good tight end to keep busy when Lamb's not open. I think they're going to have trouble getting to Prescott and controlling him in this game. No reason why Dallas shouldn't blow these guys out, but I'm hoping Packers win because I hate the Cowboys. So go Green Bay. Go Green Bay!
Jeremy, Cowboys or Packers?
Yeah, I got to go with the Cowboys in this one. They're a true home field advantage team. And you've got to, they played well, the Packers have, but they're a very young team stepping into the playoffs. And I just don't know if they're going to be ready to go into Dallas, and knock them off. Not that I think Dallas is a powerhouse. We've seen what happens to that team in the playoffs, but I think they're at least going to get through this week.
Rams are +3 at the Lions. I am on the Rams plus the points. I think they win outright.
From your lips to God's ears, Loud.
I love Detroit. Detroit gives up almost more big plays on defense than any other team in the NFL. Look at their stats at 20-plus yard plays, and they give up a ton of them. And what do the Rams excel at? Chunk plays in the passing game. I don't think Detroit can stop the Rams' offense.
Detroit's secondary had trouble with elite receivers, CeeDee Lamb being one of them, and Justin Jefferson twice. I don't know how they're going to react to a healthy Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. Besides, they've got some of the guys with speed, Robinson, Atwell. I know. This is going to be a real test for the Detroit secondary, and I think Karen Williams is the best blocking back in the league right now. He has everything. They're going to try to run him. That'll be the test.
Okay, so Rocky is on the Rams. So moving on, Jeremy.
I'm on the Rams.
I'm probably the only one that's going to say I'm on Detroit in this game. A lot of people will, a lot of people won't take this into account, but I think it's a real thing, especially in the situation. The atmosphere in that stadium is going to be insane. It's going to be electric, and I believe that coach and those players are going to feed off of that on Saturday or on Sunday. I think they match up well. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think it's going to be a fun game, But I just think that really, in this case, the 12th man is going to have that impact. I think they're going to feed off of all of that energy and momentum because, boy, does Detroit want this bad.
And then
Yes, they do.
the game on Monday night. This is the first Monday night
Whoa.
Hey,
We're just skipping
let
over
Christian
me?
talk about his team.
Yeah.
He already
I got
did.
the Rams, obviously.
No,
No,
he didn't.
I got the Rams, obviously. The biggest thing out of this game, though, I have the over the 52 points.
Yeah,
Final score,
I'm with you there, too.
37-34. Going ahead. All right, go on ahead, Blau.
All right, Eagles, Buccaneers, puke. Who cares? Because of how awful the Eagles have been, I'm going to hold my nose and say Buccaneers at home getting 3 points. I'll take the Bucs.
Yeah,
I'm on the Bucs as well. To be
Yeah.
honest with you,
they're bad.
yeah, Eagles have struggled.
1 minute.
And right now, I just don't see him having much momentum. I think Baker's going to get a win. I think he's going to pull it out at home in Tampa
All right.
Bay. And it's going to be fun.
We got 1 minute left, so I've got to get this out there. Here's my best bet of the weekend. 4-team parlay, money line. Browns, Chiefs, Bills, Cowboys. Pays 3.5 to 1. Browns, Chiefs, Bills, Cowboys. All to win. Pays 3.5 to 1. You want to hedge? Take the Texans for like $100. And that way, the most likely game that you lose pays you some of your money back. I'm done.
All right, everyone. Let's go Rams. Let's go football.
That game is going to be decided by Aiden Hutchinson and Aaron Donald. You see. We'll see what happens
Agreed.
on the defensive side.
Yeah.
It'll be fun.
I'm just so happy the Rams are in the playoffs, guys. Thank you for listening. This has been the Wild Card Weekend Review. We will see you guys for the divisional round next Friday.
Crazy Lou. Good show.
All right,
Christian.
guys. Take care.
All right, we'll see you later, man. Go Rams. Lou did another parlay.
Yep.
We'll see how it works out, huh? All right, buddy. See you later. See you tomorrow. See you tomorrow at the airport.